Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. I'm Ingrid Carlsen, and today we are going to explore faux rusting. I think that rusted elements give junk journals just an authenticity of vintageness and just a feeling of old. But I know that they can be toxic, so let's go ahead and play around with some faux rusting today. Join me as I experiment with the process. Although I love these little bits and the grunginess that rusty staples and paper clips, rings, and you name it adds to a project, today I am going to try to replicate, or at least maybe not get exactly the same, but get a similar effect without having to use rust. And so those of you that have been hesitant on rusting things because you don't want to inhale the rust, I get it. I totally understand. So let's get started. I'm going to pull out just a few things. Do you already know where I'm going with this? I'm going to get a little bit of alcohol. I have this little blower tool. I believe this is Ranger or Tim Holtz. And I'm going to grab some alcohol inks as well as my staples. And these staples I grabbed from Dollar Tree. So the great part about this is if you don't like the result, you haven't put a bunch of money into it. You don't have to buy a new stapler. Whatever stapler you have will work. So we're going to start with two of these and we are going to experiment. The great part about this project is that you don't just have to go for like that rust color, but you can actually customize your colors depending on what your motif or the style of your journal that you're doing. But we're going to start off first with kind of a rusty color. So I'm going to be pulling a few colors that I think would go. I'm going to try this alloy, which is going to be kind of a metallic. And I have these daubers or makeup sponges. So let's go ahead and get started. So usually when I'm working with alcohol inks, I will wear gloves, but I don't have any on me. So I'm going to just try not to get it on me. I also would highly recommend that you go into a ventilated place because I know for me, these things tend to bother me. I think that you want to get some of that corrugated color so that you can have, like, for example, here. And I'm going to try some alcohol. We're going to see what happens when I add just a little bit of rubbing alcohol. You could also use the blending solution. So it looks like it didn't do much. It kind of extended the life of it. This is very pretty right here. And I'm going to allow that to dry. We're going to do another one. This time I'm going to focus a little bit lighter. Let's see. And I'm going to try by first wetting the staples with alcohol. And I think this allows my alcohol ink to go a little further. I'm trying for it not to go completely over. And we're going to add, let's see, maybe we'll add just, I can't remember which was which. There we go. It's already getting stinky in here. Pull some more out. I think though, if you want to get that authentic, I wonder, oops, darn, that authentic rust color, I think that this is definitely your go-to. So I'm going to do the same process as that one, but I'm going to wet it with alcohol first. And I think I'm going to start with this one that's a little bit lighter first, and then we'll go in with the darker. Let's add some yellow. And also make sure, I don't think I said, but this is freezer paper. And when I'm working with alcohol inks, I definitely like to put something down first, unless I'm working, even on glass, I think it can stain. So you just want to be really careful. This stuff like will stick to everything. Now, while those are sitting there, because this is kind of going to be a waiting game, we're going to have to let these dry. I'm going to go ahead and do another, and I'll go ahead and tell you what colors these are. And I'll have these, if I can, listed in my Amazon storefront. So this is Ranger's Alcohol Ink and Mushroom. This is in Sienna. This is the Alloy in Statue. This is, I don't know if this is Brea or Brea Reese, and it's in yellow. And I'm going to try out this Rosewood, which I think is more of a red. And, you know, I'm going to try out a little bit of this Meadow, because I think sometimes like copper, when it gets old, it goes green. So I'm going to try that out. So although the alcohol inks are, I mean, I'm gonna guess they're somewhat toxic, being that they're so smelly. Oops, that was real. What I noticed with the Tim Holtz alcohol inks is that they want to come out really quickly, so just beware and be careful with that. Okay. Oops. I don't even know. feel like that was too wet. So I'm going to try to actually, let me grab a pokey tool of some sort. So I have this like metallic thing for art distressing. I'm kind of just mushing them together. And so these are definitely more on the red side. I'm going to try the green here. And that green looks gorgeous. Let's scooch this. Once we're getting close to done, I will get a little closer for you so you can see the yummy colors. I'm going to add a little bit of the alloy to this one. Oh, look at that. It's like magic. Here are my colors before they're dry. You can still see that they're pretty goopy. This one's almost dry. And I would definitely say that this color combo resembles Rust the most. I love this one though. So that was the rosewood with the green and a little bit of the alloy. But this one's great too. So we're gonna let these dry and then I will come back and we're going to try them out. The staples are now dry, so I'm going to put them in a stapler and we're gonna make a little cluster so you can see the colors. I'm going to grab this little booklet that I've been working on and just some pieces. These I just made on one of my last videos, and it's a scrapbook buster video, and I'll have it linked down below. These are also some pieces from when I was working previously, and then I have these tags, which I'm probably not going to use the tag, but I am going to use the paper because I think it's really pretty. So instead of cutting it, I'm going to just tear it. And I don't think I'm going to use the top. So I think I'm going to place this and I do have rusty staples in this one, so I'll try to carefully remove them. And I'm gonna have to break them again. You can kind of see the staples. I'm going to pull out one of my booklets to do a side-by-side comparison. So these are the rusty ones and these are the not rusty ones. So you can see these definitely have like they're more thick. But I think that this gives a really nice effect, especially if you don't want to get rusty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock, and I have an extra piece here, and I'm going to just staple some staples. And I'm going to just switch them out. This is the red side. So I feel like they definitely look like they're weathered and they're not one-dimensional. And I wouldn't say, you know, they're not an exact replica, but I would say that they are a good alternative. Now the negative about, so this one came out really nice, and that was this set. And I think that what's nicest about this is that it's kind of corrugated. You can see here's darker, lighter, and then maybe like green right here. And so that's really nice. So I would say that that's a good combo. I'm gonna try these. It's not 100% dry. And then the last ones, which will be this. I'm not 100% dry. Yeah. It's for science. And these definitely show up more on the gold side. But I think all in all, it's a really good alternative. And as long as you use a ventilated area, I think that it's pretty safe to use the alcohol inks. And so, and you can see you are getting a little bit of almost like the transfer like you would a rusty staple. And actually, let's do this so that it's there. I'll do one here and one here. So you can kind of see the difference. So there is a little bit of a difference. Mostly, like I said, they're almost a little thicker than these are, but I think, and you're not going to get any deposit, whereas the rusty staples, they leave a little bit of rust behind. But I think this is a great alternative. So I'm curious to see if you guys have tried this out before, if you've heard of this, if you've ever done it, or if you do try it, I'd love to hear what your results are. And even better, if you use it, tag me over on Instagram. I'd love to see your projects. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope this inspires you to go create something pretty today. Until next time, love you. Bye.